Hello, everyone. It is time to get into the Love is Blind reunion. And I gotta do it right now. It is 2:50 p.m. on Wednesday because it's like people have done their recaps and their reviews already, and I need to do one too because that's what I promised y'all, even though I covered a lot in my last episode. So I was ready. I planned my entire day around this reunion. Thank God I didn't throw a watch party. Thank God I didn't attend a watch party. But so many people ordered food, ordered drinks. We were ready. The chats were fired up. So I put the reunion on my TV. It was just the screen saying that it was coming. And so I also put it on my laptop 15 minutes into the reunion when it actually started. My TV just was not showing the reunion anymore, but it was playing on my laptop. And apparently so many people had to watch it through people streaming it on TikTok or Instagram. And so, Netflix, you delivered. When it came to the Chris Rock special, y'all did not deliver with Love is Blind. So what that means is never do this again. And I say that because Andy Cohen has said he has explained why reunions should not be live. He said it takes a while for people to get emotional and for people to get worked up and say, things that are going to be interesting. And then on top of that, you got to edit everything down. So when you do it live, you cannot address a lot of topics. You cannot go in depth about anything. And you can't edit out content that should be edited out. So I saw on one comment that somebody said that making the reunion live was Nick's idea. I don't know if it was. And I really don't like really random, unsubstantiated rumors. And honestly, it don't matter whose idea it was. I hope and pray that Netflix won't pull this stunt again. It's one thing to make a comedy show live. It's another to make a reunion which should be shot over many hours live. And then on top of it, you got a host who don't know how to ask any questions. You got a host who comes for the men. Vanessa Lachey is sexist. It's like women can't do anything wrong. In her eyes, it's all about the men. The way that she goes in on the men, it's just so obvious. It's like she has a vendetta against the male cast members. And it's not cute. It's not fun for us to watch because if you got smoke for some people, why don't you got the smoke for the people that did the worst things? Why are you besties with the assholes? Okay, so that is what I gotta say about the technical difficulties. I'm gonna go through my notes because shout out to y'all for even listening to this. I apologize again for the audio quality last time. As I said, that is the very last time I have my phone on my bed. My sheets sound like fucking sandpaper rubbing it up against a chalkboard. It's crazy. So thank you guys for coming back to hear what I gotta say, and I just want to remind you that a bitch is taking a hiatus. So I'm taking a hiatus from now until when the Vanderpump Rules reunion comes out, and then once the Vanderpump Rules reunion comes out, it's curtains. You know what I'm saying? It's curtains for a while because that's what's best for me. I'm so busy. I haven't written any new stand-up material in a while. I haven't hit the stage in a while. I'm starting to crave it. It's one of my favorite drugs, and whenever I don't do it, it just does a lot of harm to me. Now, when it comes to the outfits, I think that Irina ate, okay? Irina is my number one for the women. Irina, Tiffany, and Bliss, all of them bitches looked great. I hated Micah's fake tan and hair. And I need to know who made Vanessa's dress, because that person needs to be shamed publicly. So Vanessa, at the very beginning, with America's favorite couple, current, newest, favorite Love is Blind couple, Vanessa jokes that she's going to air footage of Tiffany and Brett in the bridal suite. So I have a problem with this joke, and okay, so I'm assuming the writers told Vanessa to say this so that they could, run some footage of Tiffany sleeping, but that's not funny. It's not funny because Tiffany and Brett have been married for a year. Tiffany and Brett hooked up in Mexico, and Tiffany and Brett could do whatever they want. It's not funny to joke with us about something that intimate on a show that's this popular. And I'm not someone who is all uptight about jokes, but the joke was stupid and inappropriate and embarrassing. So it's like y'all could have said a lot of shit and then shown us the footage of Tiffany sleeping without you saying that it was some bridal suite footage. So whoever wrote that joke, it was a fail. It was a flop. Next, we got Kwame with some glued fake hair on the top of his head. So, Kwame has a really nasty hairline. And he has a huge ass forehead. Hair or no hair, his forehead is really fucking big. And then he just was holding on to some ugly ass hairline. So then it looks like I think that he had fake hair glued on the top of his head, or he just shaved the hairline back so that it's a straight line. I don't know what he did, but to me it was fake hair and it was ugly and it looked fake and nasty and disgusting, but I'm very biased when it comes to Kwame. And then Kwame is telling us about how he was going to dump Micah. He claims that he had a breakup letter that he was going to, read to Micah, dumping her. He was saying that his dates were ending early because they were boring. His dates with Micah. And so one of the biggest problems that I have with this reunion, and I've seen multiple people say it, is that Chelsea and Kwame have gone through so much media training. It was so obvious. How Kwame was talking is not how you talk. And he was making certain comments that when he was asked certain questions that he knew he would be asked. So then when Nick is you said you were going to dump her, but you were so emotional when she dumped you. He's like, yeah, but we all do that. When we are rejected, we feel like we have to have we're on the couch with the ice cream. And I was like, I'm sorry, but I don't know any man that talks about eating ice cream after a breakup. I've yet to meet him my whole life. That's something that women talk about, and it was just fake. It was just fake and annoying. There was no realness to anything that Kwame fucking said. It was all lies. It was all scripted. It was all bullshit. So I want y'all, if you are one of those people who like to notice certain things, like I can be, go to the reunion and go to the 18 minutes and 18-second mark and look at Kwame's face. He looks devastated and scared. It is crazy. His poker face is trash. I encourage you, go to the 18 minutes and 18 seconds mark of the reunion, and I'm like, yikes. Woo! I mean, he took this media training, but he needs to do some more acting classes or start them, because the man don't look happy, because he's not. So then, as far as I believe. So then when Vanessa asks Kwame what he would like to tell viewers about his relationship, given what viewers have seen, Chelsea answers the question. Good for you, Chelsea. I just want to remind y'all that I can't stand Chelsea. Everything about her makes my skin crawl. I can't do it. She does seem to have a southern accent though, which I'm confused by because she lives in Seattle. So I wonder where she's from and how long she's been in Seattle, because I feel like she has a pretty strong southern accent. So then next, I got Irina. So as I said, I think Irina looked very pretty. I do. I could objectively say that. So the crowd was laughing at Irina, as you saw, when she's crying and saying that she needs a minute, and nothing that she said made any sense at all. especially when Irina was like, it wasn't about how he looks, you know, I like the brown. When she's talking about Zack, she's like, I like the brown hair. It's like, we watched multiple episodes of you screaming while in his presence because whenever he would come near you. So I don't say that it was about him, it wasn't about you finding him unattractive. Just don't even comment on that. We all saw what we saw, bitch. Okay, so then Irina says that it really hurts for her to hear Zack say that she didn't take their relationship seriously. And Irina, I don't care if you're hurt. I don't care. Like, that's not a good argument for us. You hurt other people throughout this entire process. If anything, let's settle the score, bitch. So then Zack, when she says this, Zack looks livid. So then Zack says, you only see 10% of it on camera. And then he says that what Irina did off screen was unbelievable. Here we got Vanessa dropping the ball and not asking him to give us one example, which we need. I need to know what else was happening with Irina that we didn't see, because I can't even believe what we saw. And here we are getting robbed of finding out actual information on a reunion, which the entire point of a reunion is so that we can actually learn things. Zack says, if we're real, you went on the show to be famous. Zack, okay. Like, I love how Zack just thinks that this is a slay, like this is a serve. It's like, that is why people sign up for Love is Blind. You sign up to find love and you know you're going to get famous. So that's just, I don't understand why he thought that was such a strong argument. But as I said, like, Zack is a lawyer, he's trash. From what I've seen, like, he's absolute garbage. He's a joke. So he says that he forgives her and blah, blah, blah. So then Zack says, the only receipts I think the world should see are the ones I posted on my Instagram today. If you go to Zack's Instagram, it's a bunch of nonsensical paragraphs about his mother. What? How the fuck is that a receipt about the show? How is that a receipt about Irina? You are on the reunion. Why are you begging, or why are you prompting us to go to your Instagram? What, so we could follow you? Yeah, I went to your motherfucking Instagram, looked at your shit, got the fuck off your page. Because I was like, what is this about? Get therapy, Zack. Seek counseling. What was, like, I liked Zack, and I like him, but that was his weakest. This reunion, he lowered his stock, as somebody said, so much in this reunion, because I look at him as a head case now. So then Irina says, I had a gut instinct that it didn't feel right. It was instant. I didn't feel safe. I went back and I had a panic attack and I asked to go home. Yet she's claiming that this was not about Zack's looks. Oh my God. Irina, you really shouldn't be on television talking about feeling unsafe. Like, you just shouldn't. And the fact that she got away with this, and the fact that Zack didn't even address it, because again, Zack is not a good lawyer. Zack is ridiculous when it comes to actually presenting an argument and breaking things apart line by line. He's trash. He's not good at it at all. He should never let this woman claim that he made her feel unsafe. He should say why. What have I said to you, and what have I done to you to make you feel unsafe? Why are you using that fucking word? He never addressed it. So then Vanessa tells Irina that it wasn't just her words, it was also Irina's actions. Like, she put the pillow over her head, and then she talks about how Irina was bullied, but she bullied other people. And that's when Irina conveniently says that she was having a panic attack when she put a pillow over her head. And let me take the pillow thing out, because I don't want to be insensitive to people who have panic attacks, but it was not like Irina exhibited horrible and abusive behavior, or horrible behavior just one time when she put the pillow over her face. It was the entire fucking time she was with Zack. You look like a cartoon character. You don't blink. This is weird. This is weird. Like, Irina, don't throw in this supposed panic attack when you insulted this man the entire time. You had to have a barrier in bed. He couldn't touch your pinky. Irina, you put the nail in the coffin on your image. It's like, this show is always something that Love is Blind seems to be really good at, is finding people who are so trash that they don't recognize that they should try to pretend to be a little less trash on camera. It's like, consistently, that's what we get. And I'm just like, Irina, there's no coming back from this. None. I mean, I understand you want to claim that you had a panic attack, but it's like, we don't fuck with you. So, next. And I really better not see Irina's ass on any other dating reality show, because she doesn't know how to be civil when she's not attracted to someone. And she might find herself in that position again, not being attracted to someone. So then she's just going to bring more abuse to the table. Keep Irina off of reality TV, please. So then we got Micah. So Micah never had a single tear drop from her eye. You know, it was pathetic. And she explains that she wanted Paul to answer first so she wouldn't feel pressured to say yes because she said yes first. I don't care. There's conspiracies about how, like, she was going to say no. She didn't want to look like the bad guy. She didn't want to look like the villain. I don't care. I literally could not care at all. If she had a plan, an agenda, who cares? These two were never going to last, period. Even if they got married, they weren't going to last. So it does not matter if she wanted him to go first so she could save face or look a certain way. It's irrelevant. And I don't believe that this was her plan, because she seemed so humiliated when Paul approached her after she walked away from the altar. She seemed humiliated, genuinely. Her face, her body language. She looked so embarrassed. So that's why I don't believe any type of narrative like, oh, she was doing this on purpose. Like, the amount of conspiracies that come out sometimes with reality shows are frightening. Honestly, like, y'all gotta have something better to do. Find something to do. So then, we all know that Vanessa could not get over the fact that Paul said that he couldn't see Micah as a mom. And hello, Micah let her friends harass him. Micah didn't defend him. Micah got upset with Paul for not liking Shelby. Micah FaceTimes him drunk. Micah is always there getting drunk. Micah is there complaining about his, apartment and aesthetics. And okay, so none of that, like, yeah, I don't want to have kids with that person. Why was it that right after we see a montage of Micah being shitty and Micah not being nurturing, Vanessa acted like, how dare he, how could he ever see Micah as unnurturing? Vanessa's got to go. So I already linked to the petition to get her the fuck up out of here. Vanessa needs to go. She needs to leave. I'm done with Vanessa's ass. So then, because Vanessa is always going to be, or apparently on this reunion, she's just siding with the women, Vanessa asks Micah, do you think Shelby was right when she said Paul isn't for you? I guess, Vanessa. You are asking that question, but you ain't going to ask about Shelby laughing? You're not going to ask about that? Okay. Great host of the year. So Micah defends Shelby. So then Zack, Vanessa won't stop coming for Paul to the point where Zack is now activated and he feels like he has to attack Micah just to stand up for Paul. And then Zack claims that Micah is here for blood. Again, how are you a lawyer? Because Micah is sitting there talking softly, not saying much. Yes, she was presenting herself as a victim, but that's exactly the opposite of being here for blood. when you're presenting yourself as the victim. Like, okay, like, Zack, if you think that Micah was here for blood again, I don't understand how your brain works. And then Zack, of course, says that Micah never wanted to marry Paul. Whatever. Like, Zack, shut the fuck up. Honestly, like, you looking crazy. So then Bliss defends Zack throughout the show, which I appreciate. So then Irina says that she didn't. Okay. So if Irina told Paul that Micah is not going to marry. Sorry, if Irina told Zack that Micah's not going to marry Paul, she said this before or while they were in Mexico, which is totally irrelevant. 100% irrelevant, because Micah could have changed her mind, considering that Irina was out of the picture since Zack and Irina left Mexico. So Micah did say, "Oh, I'm not going to marry Paul." It's like, yeah, that she could have changed her opinion, but regardless, it's irrelevant. Honestly, the attack on Micah was just really stupid and really corny. Moving right along. So then, as we know, the reunion played Jackie and Josh together, and then Jackie said, "It comes natural like poop," and I love it. It was perfect. I'm glad Netflix kept that clip in because it summarizes their entire relationship. Vanessa asks Jackie, "Do you remember the last moment when Marshall pushed you and you were like, 'That's it, I'm done'?" Like, that is literally what Vanessa said. Okay, so Vanessa has enough experience in broadcasting to know that she should have never used the phrase, "when Marshall pushed you." Never. Because some people are going to take that literally and think that he physically pushed her. Secondly, she's making it seem as though Marshall was just, hurting, abusing, yelling, accusing, and insulting Jackie, and that Jackie was just sweet and didn't, or I won't say sweet because she loves to say that Marshall is sweet. She made it seem like, Jackie never did anything, as if we didn't watch the show, as if we didn't see it. So it was just, okay. Moving right along. I can't get into Jackie and Josh too much. As I said, like, they need to be completely out of sight, out of mind for me. I'm triggered. Because I'm just too disgusted. I'm not into it. And I'm looking forward to the breakup. If they break up, I think that would be pretty dope. Somebody else could take on everything that Jackie brings to the table. So then Brett, I love when they show the interview and the footage of Jackie and Josh. I love how Brett looks so fucking disgusted. And that Tiffany also looks unhappy. And I love that they have Marshall's back. And as somebody said on a live, like, Brett should have been asked about what he thought about how Jackie treated Marshall. That was like the perfect opportunity for someone to defend Marshall, especially in the face of Vanessa Lachey's bullshit. So then I love that when Jackie claims that she had PTSD when she heard Josh's voice, like, at Chelsea's party, like, she doesn't know what PTSD means, but she's using that phrase or the acronym. God bless the show. Vanessa didn't even correct Jackie when she said that shit. Like, that's how inept Vanessa is. That somebody could say, "I had PTSD when I heard his voice," and she's not even gonna say nothing. So then Marshall said that he knows a lot of people want him to be reactionary. And it is disturbing, though, that Marshall didn't want to. He said that he wouldn't have ended the relationship. He would have tried to fight for it. Like, it's a really, really bad look. So then Marshall mentions that Jackie was texting saying that Marshall's gay. Vanessa downplays Jackie's homophobic slander. She fails to mention any insults that Jackie made. The crowd claps when Marshall said that Jackie's engagement ring was a symbol of his love and she didn't deserve it. It's like the crowd understood why Marshall should want the ring back, but Vanessa's dumbass didn't seem to understand why Marshall should get the fucking ring back. So Marshall is furious when he says that he'd like to call a truce. And he says that he's been slighted a second time during the whole experience. Vanessa still doesn't give a fuck. So what Vanessa comes in with is, "But are you taking into account the woman you were going to marry's feelings for why she's not here?" Like, Vanessa, please, don't ever come back. Don't. We don't want you back. So then the women are wooing and excited when they see Brett on screen at his home. And how can they not? Like, have you seen what Brett looks like? Have you seen what he looks like? Oh my God. Okay. So the crowd, what I thought was really sad was they showed Brett and Tiffany at their apartment, and then when they showed Chelsea and Kwame's high-end looking apartment, the crowd started screaming, and I was like, that's an insult. I would feel so insulted that it's silent when you see my apartment, and then when you see a nicer apartment, everybody just starts cheering. I was embarrassed for Brett and Tiffany in that moment. So then we see that Zack is singing again, and Bliss loves the song that Zack wrote. Irina looks like she wants to kill herself. Micah looks like she's trying not to laugh as well. Nick tells Zack that he did a nice job singing. And this is another reason why Nick and Vanessa Lachey both got to get the fuck out. Like, y'all stay lying. Like, we heard what Zack sounds like, and I really don't know why Zack is singing. Like, somebody said Zack is on the show for fame, and I don't know. I think Zack genuinely believes he can sing, and I mean, God bless Bliss. Like, that's what Love is Blind and Love is Also Deaf. So that we saw the couples hanging out together, and they showed more footage of Zack and Bliss hanging with Chelsea and Kwame, and that's because they're both in Seattle. Whereas Brett and Tiffany are in Portland, but they still were together hanging out, and it's just so great because I don't feel like any of the other cast members. We've never seen footage of the other seasons cast members hanging out. Like, it made me so happy. I loved it. So then Chelsea says women need to feel empowered to make decisions that are best for themselves, period. And then Chelsea also says, Kwame challenges me to be better, and I've never had anybody in my whole life do that for me. That's sad. That's really sad, bitch. So I'm glad Kwame is, challenging you to make you better. He's challenging you to be better because he don't like you as is. He's challenging you to be better because he sees you as a project. Just like what Marshall called Jackie. He's challenging you to be better because he's nitpicking, because he doesn't want to be there, because that's what people do when they don't want to be there. So Chelsea, I think that Kwame will divorce her, and I think that she'll be fine, but I also think that she's going to fall into a very deep depression because she's going to remember how thirsty she was the entire season for Kwame. And how Kwame always looked like he wanted to rip his hair out. So then Bliss says, I can't wait to have this man's babies. And I love how in love Zack and Bliss are. Bliss actually posted a story today on her Instagram, and then Zack came on the story and he was kissing her, and I was like, God, I love this couple. I love them. I love seeing a couple that's like very, very in love. So shout out to Zack and Bliss. I love that, so then Vanessa, who was horny / potentially drunk, was like, oh, you guys don't want to rush everything, do you? And she does this super weird over-the-top blank. And then Zack says that they're all good in the sex department, and that Zack takes his... Bliss says that she and Zack are all good in the sex department, and that Zack takes his time. And it's like... Zack is the type. You can tell. I actually I'm loving his beard. It just gives it gives Ben Affleck vibes. It really, really does. I just Zack desperately needs a tan. He's like one of the pastiest people I've ever seen. He needs a tan. And so I feel like with a tan, with some more working out, some getting some muscles, I think he would, that would help him a lot. So then, people were really, really upset that Bartise was a part of the reunion. So we see Bartise at the end with his son, and then Bartise. So here's the problem. Like, Bartise did not have a baby with anybody from the series. Therefore, his ass did not need to be on television. And all that did was just embolden and excite Vanessa to ask the couples again about having kids. Like, we don't need Bartise. I purposely avoided Perfect Match because Bartise was a part of the show. And I know that was a good decision because the way that people hate Bartise so much, I know that it is in my best interest to avoid all Bartise content. And people say how he's always coming so hard for women's looks. On my you'd have to scroll back quite a bit. But on my Instagram for the P Valley podcast, I did post a picture of Bartise and his baby mama, and I have questions because, you know, Nancy wasn't attractive enough for Bartise apparently, and other people aren't. But the reason why I have questions is this is the person that Bartise nut inside of and had a baby with. There is nothing, I haven't seen anything online saying that they were a couple. I don't know if he's out, you know, he has communal dick and it's somebody different every night that he nuts inside or fucks. But I have questions because this girl, on a scale of 1 to 10, I will just say that she's not a 10. I will be kind and I will say that she's not a 10. So if this girl, what is this baby mama the standard of beauty or sexiness or hotness? I have a lot of questions. A lot. Because it makes me feel like Bartise is living a double life. If people who are attractive, if he claims that those people are unattractive, but yet he has a baby with somebody very unattractive, I need some answers. But guess what? I'm totally okay with not getting those answers because I'm not here for anything that involves Bartise. And then lastly, very last thing, so the person who, I guess his name is Chris Tate or something, I don't know. But the YouTube account Tate's Take, he was a part of a YouTube live by Pay or Wait. And in that live, Tate said that Bartise actually charges people to follow them on Instagram. He charges people to like their posts on Instagram. He charges people to comment on their Instagram. All right, so thank you for listening. I'm glad that I decided to bang this out. But anyways, love y'all. And I will talk to you after the Vanderpump Rules reunion. See you later. Talk to you later.